Hi, Jason.
Hi, how are you, Maggie?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. How are you feeling today?
Great. Had some good sessions today.
Oh, that's good. I'm excited to hear about it. How are things going outside of work? Are you doing okay? Mental health good? Self-care?
Family's going good. Making sure that we go out and have our free time and, play with the kids and the dog and stuff. So make sure that once I'm done with work, we disconnect from work and focus on family. So, yeah, we're not stressed out.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. That's really important. And I'm glad that, we've talked about those things before. So that's good. Good. What would you like to work on in today's session?
Well, you wanted me to kind of focus on a little bit about different clients that I have, and one of them, she's from Guatemala. She's working here on a visa, and she's dealing with depression, and it's kind of a hard situation with her for a couple of different reasons.
Okay, right. We discussed that the last session. You've had her a couple times now, so that's going to be our focus.
Yeah.
Today. Okay, good. So I was thinking that we could expand a bit on some of the different interventions for this client that's of the different culture, and she's struggling with depression, like you said. What do you think of trying out some different things for her, intervention-wise?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we're going to do some focus work.
I'm open to any kind of help with her. She's tough.
Okay. Do you find the fact that you're a male and she's a female an issue as well?
I definitely think that that's part of it. We know that we struggle as far as that goes, just from culturally, how men interact with women in Latino cultures is a lot different. So it's hard for me to not sound overbearing with her, especially.
Sure. Good. That's good points. Okay. So what do you think you've learned from our last session together, supervised session, and tell me what you think you've learned from
that. Well, like I said, being able to identify some things that might be counterproductive. So identifying the fact that her culture is different, that the male-female relationship is different within the culture. Being able to try and come at her from a passive standpoint to help her to realize decisions on her own, kind of guide her to that decision and help her feel like it's her own decision rather than a male forcing a decision upon her. Those kinds of things we're really working on.
Well, it sounds like I was going to ask you if you feel like it's helpful or not, but to me, it sounds like it has been helpful. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Great. Well, I like it. Okay. So do we need to discuss any other therapy cases that are on your load now besides her? Do you feel like there's anything from any previous cases that might be helping with this one?
Oh, gosh. We have a young lady, a teenager, that she's focusing on some bullying issues that she's had in school. She is dealing with some family issues at home that have been a struggle for her. That's been kind of hard. Again, it's another one of those things where I try to help guide her to her own resolution, trying to help her to self-care and to think of other ways that she can help herself and grow and progress. And she is a teenager. She has that ability to make those decisions on her own if given the right direction.
Good. Is there a culture issue in this one as well?
No, she's Caucasian as well, so that's not there. But there's the same dynamic because with the Latino culture, the male is dominant over a female. But in Caucasian culture, with this particular relationship, we're dealing with an adult to a child. So that same dynamic is there. It's a little different, but they work pretty close to the same.
Very interesting. Another thing too is the depression might be there with the bullying. So you're dealing with maybe a same diagnosis.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Okay, good. Yeah, think about talking to her about how she's mentally feeling. Good.
Okay.
Okay, how about homework? Let's talk about that. Last week I gave you some in regards to the Hispanic woman, the Latino woman, and her depression. I thought it would be a good idea for you to read about clients from that culture, the background, and how they normally will deal with depression. Did you find anything interesting in any of that information?
So much information to go over. There was a particular book, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was focused specifically on the Latino culture and the dynamic between male and female, husband and wife, father to children. A lot of different dynamic in that particular book, and I found a couple of things that have worked, or that I can work into the conversation that we're still building up towards that.
So it seems that you chose to research through reading a book this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. How long did it take you to? Did you just read specific chapters, or?
No, this whole book was focused around that culture, psychology and that culture, and so it was. I was driven to it and kind of drawn into that book, and so I felt that was a good place to start.
Do you feel like any of that research from that book, will you be incorporating it or using it with this client next time you see her?
Yes, there are a lot of different bullet points that I have moving forward with her. That each one of those, I'm kind of making sure to try and kind of ease that into the conversation, try to work it in, see what we can do. Like I said, with her, I'm trying to let her guide most of the conversation in order to help her feel more comfortable and try and draw out more things with her.
Good. Excellent work. I like that research. Okay. So I was able to listen to your recording of the last session and you had with her, and I think you really did a great job of trying to understand her, work with the culture backgrounds and the differences. Do you have any questions for me in regards to the way that we can help this client with the issues she is facing while respecting her culture?
The biggest thing that I can think of, honestly, is coming from my perspective, it's hard for me to identify how the monthly track record of a woman can work in reference to the depression. I see a little bit of a manic in her, and I don't know if it's just from the time that we see each other, whether that's changing, if there's a fluctuation due to, whether it's that time or whatever, and that's a little difficult for me to recognize and relate to.
Sure. Yeah, and there's the male-female difference there.
Right.
Okay, so that's something that we can definitely do some research on and talk to her about finding ways to work around that. Okay, so let's discuss some different homework now.
Okay.
So I noticed this week in the county paper, there is a class being held at the college for Spanish culture and how to better assist these individuals in our community. By chance, did you see that?
I did, as a matter of fact. I actually marked it and tore it out to read later.
Awesome. I was really surprised. I couldn't believe that I saw that because I thought it was just perfect for you, and I was hopeful that would lend some assistance in gaining a different perspective of your client and even future ones. Are you able to attend that class?
I think it was this Saturday afternoon, and I usually don't hold any sessions unless it's a special session, so I think I will be able to attend that.
Great. You think that'll be helpful?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Well, Jason, I think we've made some great progress this session. I see that you're trying really hard to help your client with a different background, find ways of working with her in a way that helps her to feel like her culture is important and matters. Hopefully she will gain a different perspective on how she can help herself with her depression once she sees you're trying to work with her through those struggles. Okay. You really did some great research on the culture background, and I'm really excited to hear about this class that you attend and what you come back with. So to end, do you have any questions or concerns about our session today?
No, I don't think so.
You feel good? You feel okay going in with her for this next one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anything else I can help you with or answer before you leave?
Nope, I think we're good.
Great. Thank you. Just know that I'm here if you need me. Come in, see me, let's talk. And other than that, I'll send you a schedule for Google on when we can, let's hold our next session.
Awesome. Sounds
Okay.
great.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.